So unfortunately, when we watch most club golfers and amateur golfers hit golf shots, we tend to see something that maybe isn't particularly powerful, contact isn't necessarily great, distance is poor, and accuracy isn't fantastic. But on the other end of the scale, we see those tour players and elite players who set up, put a golf swing on it, and we see much more power, strike, distance, and accuracy. And there's a lot of information out there about the golf swing, isn't there? About swing path, face, low point, timing, synchronization, sequencing. Well, I think we'd all love to know, wouldn't we? What is it that the tour players do loads better in their golf swing than every other golfer on the planet? And in the next few minutes, you're going to find out what it is and how a little drill is going to help you move more like them and then hopefully hit more shots like a tour player, but certainly improve what you're currently doing. So, what if this as well meant that all the little intricacies that you work on in your swing kind of started to take care of themselves? That'd be great, wouldn't it? So what's the biggest difference I see between an elite player and a higher handicap golfer? Is that even if they're both set up in the same way, we have this idea about we have to make a good backswing and then move in a particular manner for the downswing. So it's almost like backswing and downswing become two separate things. But the best players in the world, it's not separate. They're actually overlapping slightly, which helps create much more power and control in the golf swing. So what we see with the club golfer is, like I showed before, he kind of gets to the top, then starts his downswing. Whereas the better players in the world, as the upper body's completing the backswing, the lower body's already starting to unwind. Now, to begin with, that's going to get a bit of energy from pushing against the ground back into your body to get this moving quicker. But watch the difference it makes down the line in the angle you can swing the club and the path you can swing the club. So if you get to the top and then start down, we can see steepening, cutting across the ball, and then obviously just manipulating that club face. Comment below if you're one of those golfers who sees that in their swing. But the better players in the world, as that upper body's getting to the top, the lower body's already unwinding, the club then drops down behind, the body keeps turning out the way, and the club is delivered in a very, very different manner. So I know what you're thinking. That looks easy. But what if we gave you a little drill and a little exercise that you can work through, and particularly if you're at the range with me, work through it now to help you get that feeling. So the way we're going to do it is you're going to set up so you're going to hit a shot, and then you're going to bring that left foot back to your right foot. And as you swing back, you're going to feel that as the hands get kind of opposite your chest, you're going to step across and swing down, but with a bit more speed. And for most golfers, initially it won't look that coordinated. I could share some videos of some clients doing that, but they might not appreciate that. But if you can feel that early step, we can see lower body's going one way, upper body's going the other. Then my weight's going to move much more aggressively into that lead side, move that low point ahead and touch the ground. And from this angle, we can see how that club shallows to be able to be delivered. So I would say you could then hit shots doing it, but if this is a very new drill for you, you'll probably find trying to sync that will be very, very difficult. So definitely something, and I saw Tommy Fleetwood actually talking about this a few weeks ago. He says that he sees a lot of tour players take their stance, and as they're getting to the top here, they actually lift the foot off the floor and stamp it back down. And again, it feels very aggressive, very powerful. And once you do a few practice swings and you can get that synchronization, you then say, right, could I then hit a shot with the little stamp? But I would always do the step drill first to exaggerate the feeling. So I'm going to get there. Felt good. Maybe didn't feel quite as aggressive as I could do, but speed was good. Low point was ahead. Path was from the inside. Club face was a little bit closed, and 160 carry. Now, most golfers, you just wouldn't see numbers like that. You see low point behind, no real speed. Path much more kind of out to in, which would be a minus on TrackMan, and that club face wide open. So again, if you feel confident, you could even do the step drill. And don't worry about the strike, but we see for me there, huge jump in club head speed, low point a little bit ahead, path on the inside, club face closed, and again, decent distance. But that's really, really exaggerated. And I can hit good shots doing that, and I like how exaggerated that feels. And if you're somebody who just doesn't move particularly well, that timing in the downswing, step drill and then the little stamp drill are going to be great. So obviously I'm not going to hit loads and loads of shots in the video, but work through that, and you might kind of spend 15, 20 minutes doing that. Then the final piece would be, you're not going to lift the foot off the floor, but you're going to feel that as the hands are getting kind of chest high again, you can stamp that left foot, just push it down as hard as you can into the ground. So we're going to set up. And it feels so good. Nearly 90 mile an hour club head speed, 1.8 inches ahead, a tiny bit from the inside, 1.6 degrees, club face very neutral at 0.4 degrees open, and a carry at 157 yards. And every single golfer I do this drill with improves speed, strike, low point control, and path and face get better. But when you do start to do it initially, if there's a few indifferent ones, don't worry. Instinctively, your brain wants to go back to something where you know you can get the club on the ball. But if you don't change what you do, you're not going to change how you deliver this, and you're not going to change that shot. So let's go one very exaggerated step drill. And then one where I feel I kind of don't lift the foot, but push down into the ground. Love that feel. Love that shot. Nearly 90 mile an hour, 1.2 inches ahead, incredibly neutral delivery, and just over 160 carry. So like I said at the start, the question I asked at the start, what is the one thing that tour players and elite ball strikers do better than every other golfer? Well, it's they don't have backswing and downswing as separate entities. As the backswing's starting to finish, the downswing's already starting. That's going to get the timing better, more speed, more control, and guarantee if you can work on that drill and really, really stick with it, you're going to start hitting some much more powerful and much more accurate golf shots.